scratching along the inside of the walls. I thought it was rats. Old houses always have rats. But this sounded different. It wasn't the fast, jittery tapping of tiny feet. It was slow, deliberate, like someone trying to claw their way out from behind the drywall. I told myself not to overthink it. I bought traps and rat poison, left them in the kitchen and corners of the hallway. But the sound didn't stop. In fact, it got weirder. One night, I was in my room studying. The wind outside was howling, rattling the windows. I had my headphones on, trying to drown it out with music. Suddenly, the music went silent. Not paused, not skipped. Muted. I didn't touch anything. I froze, confused, my hand halfway to my phone. That's when I heard it. "What are you listening to?" The voice was hoarse, male, muffled. Came from inside the wall, right next to my ear. I jumped up and ran. Turned on every light in the house. I stood by the wall, heart racing, pressing my hands against it. "Is someone in there?" I yelled. Nothing. No response. I called the police. 2 officers came, searched the whole place, attic, basement, closets. They even tapped on the walls. They said it was all solid. "Old pipes, probably," one of them said. "Thermal expansion can make sounds like that." I'm not stupid. I know what pipes sound like. This was a voice. A man's voice. A few days later, I noticed more strange things. One night, a chair from the kitchen disappeared. I looked everywhere, bedroom, bathroom, even outside. It was just gone. 2 days later, I found it in the living room, sitting neatly in a corner. There were smudges of dust on the seat, like it had been dragged through the house. I tried to convince myself I was just stressed. Midterms were coming up. I wasn't sleeping enough. Then came the night I couldn't ignore it anymore. I had just finished showering. When I stepped into the hallway, the door to my room, which I'd left open, was now shut. As I approached, it creaked open by itself. A gust of icy air blew out from inside. Too cold for April. The room was dark. I hit the light switch, nothing. Then I heard it. That same scratching sound. Now coming from the wall by my desk. The same wall the voice had come from. I raised my phone and turned on the flashlight. The beam trembled in my hand. Have you ever felt like someone was watching you, even when you're alone? The whole wall looked like it was breathing. Paint rippled, slightly bulging outward. I stepped closer, and I swear I saw a finger. Just the shape of it pressing outward from behind the paint, feeling its way like it was searching. I fell backward, my phone flew from my hands. The light spun across the ceiling. When I looked up, the wall was flat again. I didn't sleep that night. I wanted to leave, but I didn't know where to go. I called my mom, told her I was sick. I didn't have the courage to say what really happened. The next day, I started packing. When I walked into my bedroom, I found a sticky note on my pillow. One line, written in someone else's handwriting. "I like how you look when you're reading." I don't own sticky notes. I don't even have a pen. I moved out. I'm staying at a friend's place now. Police found nothing. No signs of a break-in. Locks untouched. No fingerprints. The landlord said he'd renovate the house and install cameras. I told him I didn't care. That house isn't for people. I searched the address online. I found an old forum post from 10 years ago. Apparently, the house had been used for a documentary, a psychological experiment on isolation and mental breakdown. They installed hidden microphones and speakers inside the walls to make people feel like they were losing their minds. The last sentence in the post? But that experiment ended a long time ago, so I don't know what's in the walls now. Maybe it's not even a person anymore. Maybe the house learned. Maybe it remembered the voices and learned to mimic us. I moved out, but sometimes I still dream about that wall. And in my dream, I hear the voice again. When are you coming back?
Thank you.